Sterling Hayden was born Sterling Relia Walter on March 26, 1916, in Montclair, New Jersey. His early years were marked by both loss and transformation. After his father passed away unexpectedly, his mother remarried, and Sterling adopted his stepfather's surname, Hayden. Even as a child, he exhibited an adventurous spirit that would later define his life. Rather than dreaming of fame or Hollywood, he was drawn to the sea, exploration, and freedom. This formative period instilled in him a sense of resilience, independence, and a curiosity about the wider world that would guide both his personal and professional choices. A life at sea. From a young age, Hayden felt the call of the ocean. He left high school to pursue life as a sailor, first as a shipmate and later as a captain in his early 20s. Sailing became more than a job. It was a passion and a sanctuary. He traveled widely, navigating oceans, enduring storms, and learning the discipline and freedom of life at sea. These voyages not only shaped his character, but provided him with experiences far removed from Hollywood's artificiality. For Hayden, the sea was both a refuge and a teacher, fostering self-reliance and courage that would remain central throughout his life. Accidental Hollywood stardom. Hayden's entry into acting was unexpected. Paramount Pictures executives noticed his striking 6 feet 5 inches frame, rugged looks, and natural charisma, offering him a contract despite no formal training. In the 1940s, he quickly rose to prominence, appearing in films such as Virginia, 1941, and Bahama Passage, 1941. Marketed for his beauty, he resisted the label of a conventional matinee idol, often regarding acting as a means to fund his true passions rather than a personal calling. His complex relationship with fame was evident. He performed with intensity on screen, while privately yearning for the autonomy and authenticity he found at sea. Service in World War II. When World War II erupted, Hayden put his acting career on hold and enlisted in the Office of Strategic Services, a precursor to the CIA. Under the alias John Hamilton, he undertook dangerous missions in Europe and the Balkans, supporting resistance fighters in Yugoslavia and Italy. His heroism earned him the Silver Star and Bronze Arrowhead, but the war left a lasting impression on him. Beyond accolades, it reinforced his skepticism of authority and influenced his later socialist beliefs. The experience forged both courage and a moral awareness that colored his later choices in Hollywood and personal life, shaping the man behind the screen. Hollywood and political struggles. Returning to Hollywood after the war, Hayden struggled to reconcile his personal convictions with the industry's demands. In 1951, during the height of the Red Scare, he was subpoenaed to testify before the House Un-American Activities Committee, HUAC. Having briefly joined the Communist Party, he reluctantly named other alleged communists. Hayden later called this act the great shame of his life, an ethical compromise that haunted him for years. These experiences deepened his introspection and drove much of his later writing, particularly in his autobiography, Wanderer, 1963, where he explored his internal conflicts, political disillusionment, and efforts to live authentically in a world dominated by fear and conformity. Rise as a screen icon. Despite his ambivalence toward Hollywood, Hayden delivered unforgettable performances in the 1950s and 1960s. He brought a stoic, smoldering presence to films such as The Asphalt Jungle, 1950, directed by John Huston, and Stanley Kubrick's The Killing, 1956. His commanding screen persona allowed him to embody complex characters, often outsiders or conflicted men. In Dr. Strangelove, 1964, Hayden's portrayal of General Jack D. Ripper combined dry satire and paranoia, leaving a lasting impact. Later, as Captain McCluskey in The Godfather, 1972, he added menace and gravitas. These roles exemplified his talent for depth and authenticity, balancing Hollywood's spectacle with serious craft. Television ventures. In addition to films, Hayden explored television, adapting to the medium's rapid growth in the 1970s. He appeared on the Canadian science fiction series The Star Lost, blending speculative fiction with philosophical themes. He also took a role in Banachek, an American detective series starring George Peppard, which combined mystery and humor. These appearances allowed him to experiment with genres and maintain relevance in an evolving entertainment landscape. Though sometimes brief, his television work reflected Hayden's willingness to challenge himself artistically, proving that his talents extended beyond film, while maintaining the same intensity and gravitas that characterized his most celebrated screen performances. Later film work. Throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s, Hayden continued appearing in feature films, balancing major productions and smaller character-driven roles. In King of the Gypsies, 1978, he explored the traditions and struggles of a Romani family, showcasing his ability to portray layered characters. In Winter Kills, 1979, he fit naturally into a politically charged thriller, and in The Outsider, 1980, he depicted a conflicted, solitary man. That same year, he appeared in 9 to 5, a commercially and critically successful comedy, starring Jane Fonda, Lily Tomlin, and Dolly Parton. These roles demonstrated his versatility while remaining true to his preference for characters with depth and moral complexity. Hidden loves in Hollywood. Beneath Hayden's rugged exterior was a man navigating secret personal desires. According to his reflections, he had private relationships with several men in Hollywood. He named Clifton Webb, an elegant and witty actor, often cast in aristocratic roles, as an early companion. Hayden also spoke of Anthony Perkins, describing him as sensitive and introspective, and of a brief but intense connection with the younger actor associated with Rebel Without a Cause. These relationships, though clandestine, offered Hayden moments of emotional intimacy and understanding, highlighting the pressures and hidden lives many men endured in an industry that demanded both illusion and silence. Reflections on secrecy and loss. Hayden's discussions of these relationships were not meant as gossip, but as a reflection on love, vulnerability, and societal constraints. He understood the cost of hiding one's identity and expressed deep remorse for a life partly lived in fear. These hidden loves shaped his understanding of human connection, loneliness, and courage. They also influenced his writing and perspective on Hollywood. By naming these men, Hayden honored the bonds formed in secrecy and paid tribute to their shared struggles, acknowledging both the beauty and pain of lives constrained by the moral and social codes of the golden age of cinema. Legacy and death. Sterling Hayden died of prostate cancer in Sausalito in 1986 at the age of 70. He left behind a legacy of cinematic excellence, personal courage, and uncompromising honesty. Hayden's life was defined not only by the characters he portrayed on screen, but by the authenticity and intensity with which he approached his own life. From daring sea voyages to covert wartime missions and complex private relationships, his story reflects resilience, moral questioning, and a refusal to be confined by societal expectations. He remains a figure of admiration for his integrity, adventurous spirit, and the enduring impact of his work in film and literature.